Hello, shipmates! Lucky Mies over here. And yes, Alvitr! Now, there are many things I want to say about Alvitr, but I'm gonna say it is simpler. Say as simple as possible, excuse me. Her design, I did some research about what is Alvitr. And Alvitr is in Norse mythology a individual Valkyrie, or just Valkyrie, and the something like in Norse mythology, Hervor Alvitr, Old Norse Alvitr possibly meaning all wise, or strange creature, I don't know why that is over there, but it is a Valkyrie. And if you want to know the origin of the Valkyrie Alvitr, I highly recommend do the research on your own, because I am not gonna tongue twist myself with the names over here. But she's either all wise or strange creature, but I'm gonna go with the all wise, because her personality also indicates that she really wants to put really into something small details, and yeah, she also appears in Azur Lane's Slow Ahead manga, and it is hilarious how she behaves over there. But Alvitr is a battlecruiser in Azur Lane. And what type of battlecruiser? She is Ironblood's O-Class Battlecruiser. She is, if you could say, a sister to the Brunhilde. And these are the only ones of the O-Class we have this far. As for the Admiral Senker, I have mentioned this before in the past. She is a class of her own, while Alvitr and Brunhilde are the only ones in the O-Class. Now, if I remember correctly from the... actually, I have a picture over here. There were supposed to be 3 O-Class battlecruisers, just like in the plan said. So we are, honestly, still missing one. So, her overall look, you can actually see there is either shark or dragon design, but Ironblood is either themed with both shark and dragons. So I'm gonna say these are interesting dragon designs. And oh, you can actually see 380mm guns, main battery guns, right over their back. And some reasons he has a really big, I don't know, what is that thing? A void? Or just generated black hole? If that is a black hole, holy moly, we are close to die. But her rigging design is huge. I mean, good luck making 3D version of this, like in the Crosswave. If you can manage to do that, then congratulations, you actually did something impossible. But if you go with the technology, something like Monolith actually did, Monolith Soft, was it Monolith? With the Xenoblade series, I think this type of design can actually work there better with the open world. But hey, she also has one skin. A teacher, Muspel's Torrid Secrets. I don't know what is with the Muspels, but some reason that reminds me of Muspelheim. But that's just me. I don't know why. Now, how is she in the game? Well, let's focus on that. Alvitr. the second ship of her class. Let's start with the skills, and later we go with the stats. I know I usually do with the stats first, and then we go to the skills, but now I'm gonna try with the other way around. First is Muspel's Piercing Spear. Increases this ship firepower and reload by 15%. When this ship fires her main guns, 80% chance to fire level 10 special barrage number 1 or version 1. Damage is based on the skill level. Enemies hit by this barrage are inflicted with the following debuff. Inflicts a special burn element lasting 5 seconds, inflicting 150 damage every second, and spreading this burn to one other enemy. I don't know, 150 to 5? Well, we are not gonna calculate that. Excluding the enemy afflicted by it once every second, so you can either way spread this fire across the enemies, but I don't know, I haven't seen that. This burn can be re-inflicted to reset its duration, but its damage cannot stack. Well, that's disappointing, but I guess that's just a balancing stuff. She would be too overpowered if you can just stack the fire damage, but hey, as long as it burns, it's all fine. And second one is supporting skill, Rune of Omniscience. Increase this ship's damage stealth to light armor enemies by 15%. Every 16 seconds, 70% chance to fire level 10 special barrage number 2. Damage is by your skill level. Once per battle, when this barrage scores a total of 3 hits, increases this ship crit rate and crit damage by 25% until the battle ends. This is interesting support skill because every 16 seconds, 70% chance for a special barrage. I think I've seen that before. But increasing her damage dealt to the light armor enemies by 15%. That is historically accurate because a Kriegsmarine was aiming in commerce raiding, hunting down cargo ships and so on, so the O-Class is part of that design. And I don't know, is this possible to activate every time, but I don't know. Haven't seen that probably to be procced. But now, skills are all the way, let's go with the stats. In my case, she is Alvitr. So, Alvitr. She is in level 125. She has originally 7597 HP. Not impressive, but thanks to her armor that is heavy, she can actually survive a few hits. But because she's a battlecruiser, she has less HP. But there are exceptions in other factions that also have battlecruisers, but they have a lot more HP. Her reload is... where is it? 169? But if we actually ult her and do some faction technology upgrades, you can actually reach that to 179. As for her firepower, she has originally 382. And if you ult her and do something more than that, she reaches 404. She has torpedoes. It's not surprising. Kriegsmarine plan to have some torpedoes with their battlecruisers, and Tirpitz is one of them. Well, she's a battleship. Knights and Azur have torpedoes, so why not having the other battleships as well with the torpedoes? She has torpedoes 244, but if you increase her stats, she gets 257. As for evasion, well, 43, so it's not very big difference, just 45, but if you have some technology from the faction, then yes, it can also improve the evasion rate. As for anti-air, well, some battleships have better AA than others. In Alvitr case, her anti-air is, oh boy, 380, but you can actually reach that to 336. Well, in my case I have that. And her accuracy 66, but you can actually increase that to 70. She has luck stats, and that is 50. Her speed is 33, and her oil cost is 14. Now, as for gears, she gets 3 battleship main guns with the efficiency of with 140%. As for the secondaries, 200%, very standard amongst other battleships. I think others can go higher or lower than that. She gets 3 of the secondary guns. You can either have destroyers or light cruisers. And of course, anti-air gun. Well, she gets only 1 with a 100% efficiency. And Iron Blood is really well known with the lack of anti-air efficiency. She has access to the augment module, but she doesn't have augment module yet. I wonder if she ever gets one. Now, for the layout, well, the equipment I have, she gets the historically accurate design, twin 380mm SKC-34 main gun. Thanks to his fast reload and AP, she can do damage not just to the medium, but also the heavy some degree, but I guess the medium takes the heavier punch. As for her secondaries, well, she was planned with the 150mm guns, as historically planned by the Kriegsmarine. And her anti-air, well, temporarily I have this flak version of 105mm SKC-33 AA naval gun mount with time fuse. I'm doing some personal research about are these recommended to build or not, but that's my future problem. As for the auxiliary, I almost forgot, I have super heavy shell to increase firepower and increase main gun crit rate by 8%. And the high standard fire control radar from the Eel Union decreases the loading time of the first main gun volley by 15%. I know that Fumo is also optional, but I don't know. For now. So I'm sticking with the best one. And so with that, Alvitr is now completed. Now how about we go to the my final opinions about Alvitr, and do I actually recommend her to the future fleets? Alright, shipmates, Lucky Mia's voice over here, and yes, Alvitr. Now, if you noticed, I didn't do the usually, like before we go to Ship Girl, there's a history part first. Perhaps I wanted to do this because she is basically a blueprint ship. According to the records, Deutschland is a Panzerschiff class, well, Deutschland class, and the German Navy was like, can we make improvements? And then there is concepts like D-class, slightly larger of the Deutschland class, then that D-class evolved into B-class, and that's what we know as a Prince Heinrich is a P-class. And after the P-class, the German Navy was like, you know what, let's make them bigger and have battleship caliber guns. And that's how we got the O-Class Battlecruisers. And as for the O-Class, they never got one to build. Well, there was something mentioning about the keel of the O-Class Battlecruiser. But that was just a keel. So she got started. But because of the war economy and the war itself, yes, the O-Class never got to be builded. Henceforth, we have the Alvitr. And of course, in World Warships, we have someone called Siegfried. Siegfried is a concept of the O-Class Battlecruisers, but in the World of Warships they are something like a large cruisers because of their armor and their design, and of course I do want to point out that in my past video about Brunhilde, the O-Class was designed to have 150mm guns, but there are concepts of 128mm guns as a secondary guns, and the main guns are 380s, the Bismarck class battleships caliber guns. And that's why I'm using the same guns with the Alvitr and Brunhilde. Now, I do want to point out the Aegir is also a concept of the O-Class, but in Azur Lane, if you go to the fleet technology, Aegir is a Aegir class, 350mm guns, while Alvitr and Brunhilde is designed to have, well, 380s. Henceforth, we have an option to have, perhaps in the future, I wish, the third one, a third sister of the O-Class, alongside with the Alvitr and Brunhilde. Perhaps, if they are following the Valkyrie way, then perhaps we will see who it's going to be. Admiral Senker, it's a side product. So we are looking forward to at least 3 of the O-Classes. And I'm actually looking forward to it. Who is it going to be? Who is going to draw the last O-Class sister? And what is going to be her name? I'm actually looking forward to it. Now, Alvitr in the Azur Lane, well, believe it or not, when I actually make this video, that's going to be on the background. In map 14, I absolutely despise by the night combat because it heavily affects on the accuracy of the main guns. But nonetheless, Alvitr performed really well in this just one run through really well. Performed really well. I was actually surprised. Now, as the if you take her something like map 14 and 15. I haven't tested her yet in map 15, but because how brutal the map 15 really is by planes and AAs that required, I believe keeping her away from that hellhole is a good choice. But map 16, perhaps there she can perform interestingly, but I don't know yet. I haven't tested it, but she performed really well in my case. With the fleet that contains only, let me check the fleet again so I can get it correctly. Seppi, Alvitr herself, and Brunhilde. Then there is Aegir, Z13, and Regensburg. In this fleet, it did some really well. But I'm not sure about the AA guy I have. The time fuse effect. I'm not sure about that one. Perhaps it works, I don't know. Because Brunhilde also has that time fuse main gun. But they are quite mystery, so I really need to do some more proper testing. Do I want to keep the time fuse with the Alvitr and Brunhilde and my future Iron Block battleships? Now then, I would say that if you have Alvitr and you are Iron Blood main, she is, honestly, very good upgrade compared to the either Gneisenau or Scharnhorst. Well, Odin is here, but I don't know. She is, I don't know. Compares it to Odin, well, she's a PR ship. I don't know. I have been a little bit interested about comparing these two, but let's put that aside. If you have Alvitr, congratulations, you actually have really good Iron Blood member. If you are Iron Blood main. But in this case I want to say, is she good with the mob fleet or boss fleet? A very rare occasion. She is, in my opinion, well, it depends on boss, to be honest. It depends heavily on boss. Is it destroyer, aircraft carrier, battleship, or cruiser? That also affects. So I say she is good with the mob fleet for the time being. I highly recommend having someone better choices on the boss fleet. But map 15, again, I'm sorry I've picked up map 15 again. As much I want to take her over there, the AA and CV requirement is too much. As for the map 14, it could be a good place to grind with the battleship mains and all that. But because of that night effect, not so close to be good map. So close to be good map for the players like me. But that night effect really ruins the, let's just say, fun. It brings the challenge, yes. But, honestly, I see more and more why there are some moments that some players say main campaign sucks, main campaign just doesn't feel right. But mostly of that main campaign is others doesn't grind the main campaign much. They only focus on the side events, like mini events. But I don't know, main campaign is, I don't say mess, but there are things that really requires you to have too much about the well, the playstyle you want to make the thing work, like battleships only. Yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling too much nonsense at this point. But Alvitr, I can confirm she's a good battlecruiser on the Ironblood side. She's a good battlecruiser. And I am looking forward to the last O-Class on the future. Whoever it's going to be and who's going to draw it. Is it going to be like one Valkyrie who really likes the battle? Or Valkyrie that's something like heals? I don't know. There are many Valkyries, so I'm looking forward to what type of O-Class sister we're going to get. The third and the last one. I'm really going to look forward to it. What is your opinions about the Alvitr and Brunhilde? Now then. I think this is now a good way to end this. I think I have mentioned about the history from the Deutschland, from the D class, B class, and then O class, the final version. And that is the blueprint ship. Actually, maybe the last O class is going to be a PR ship. Imagine that! Anyway. Thank you so much for watching. My name is LuckyMias205. And I hope to see you on the next one.徹底的な計算と